Moral righteousness. That term, to me, holds the context of people doing uh, what's believed to be right, both in accordance to what may be pleasing to their Creator and to what may be beneficial to others, if even at least not harmful to others. And it is on the basis of moral righteousness and that idea that I choose to support our current standing President, Barack Obama, in this upcoming presidential election. It's because of the principles and the outlined courses of action and the ideas for the assistance of other people that I choose to vote for Barack Obama. Initially, I considered political party at an earlier time because that's all that I knew. It wasn't an issue taught to me, you know, in school. It was more so of a handed down tradition, through families. My family would vote for Democrats, and that's what I believed to be right at one time. But I realized that I have no clear definition of the two parties of Republicans or Democrats, or either of the other parties, the Green Party, Tea Party, or so on. Therefore, I took it as my reasonable course of action to not determine who I may choose as the person to represent the people of this nation based on what group he or she may associate with or be affiliated with. Because in all, each of the people in any political party are unique and have their own set of ideas and agendas. And their own philosophy of how politics shall be interpreted. And what actions may be best taken, and what policies may be best implemented. That's possibly why the primary elections occur, because they're parties with several or multiple members all vying for one position. And it's up to the people to choose which of those individuals within that party may best represent them. Thus, it's the person and their individual beliefs rather than the party that I believe to be of substance in determining which person may develop the most beneficial and steadfast plan for the betterment of the people of the United States of America. That person to me is Barack Obama, because I believe that beyond the party that he belongs to, the person that he is, and the ideas that he supports revolve around the realm of doing not only what he may believe to be the right thing, but doing what he may believe may be of most expedience to the development of not only the economic condition of our nation, but also on a social level with the people. By implementing such policies as the national improvement or alteration of healthcare, so that millions more of Americans may be able to not have the concern that they may not be able to survive just because they don't have a certain healthcare plan or a certain amount of money to support the procedures and evaluations that may be required, in a sensible course of action to the preserving of their lives. And also in a political realm, I believe the President of the United States seeks to expand, but also to disband some of the effects that political ideologies may have on the progression and the deterrence of the overall achievement of our nations in its goals of protecting and securing the liberties and endorsing the freedoms of our people, of us. That can be reflected, I believe, in Barack Obama's notions that, political science concepts such as partisanship, or which group a person is associated with, isn't as important as the overall welfare of the people of the United States of America. That a certain group belonging shouldn't be the separation between the people of the United States of America being supported to the fullest extent, but rather those parties in themselves, although being evident, are truly non-existent at the forefront of the United States of America. Before the United States of America, this nation is one built with the concept of one people, that all people may be free and have the opportunity to prosperity, and not just economic, but prosperity of them to be free from oppression in its various forms, as that may be the history of the creation of our nation, where the people, the forefathers and the foremothers of this country of the United States of America, sacrificed themselves to have the freedom to pursue life in a manner whereby no control from other people may be the determinant in whether they achieve their goals or not. But that through our humble hard work, but foremost our honorable Creator, that we may take the opportunity of the rights that have been bestowed onto all of us. By that wonderful Creator. And we may, by the wind of grace and by the graciousness of God, be able to all be equal amongst each other. And perhaps achieve the goals that we set for ourselves and one another as a collective nation. That no fear may exist upon us. That we may live peacefully amongst one another and show love unto one another. Those are the concepts that I believe to have been supported by people like Thomas Jefferson, who may have made the first documented enlightening of the concept of those unalienable rights. And people like George Washington, who would choose to take it as their responsibility to build a nation on freedom and equality for all people. Extending that to people like Abraham Lincoln and his work to furthermore establish the equality of all people through the proclamation that no one person shall be a slave to another. And extending that to Dr. Martin Luther King, who in his life's work and through his sacrifice have, I believe, made it known that the pure nature of us being created by one Creator entitles us to equality forever under that Creator, and that we should all be allowed to be free from the rule of any one person or any group of people that may seek to cover that truth, and that truth should be magnified from the mountaintops and from the hearts of all the people who may truly consider themselves to be amongst the United States of America. And not only the United States of America, but of the entire world. For all people, no matter what country we come from, we all have that same bond of being created by the same God. And through that, we all have the same amount of love shown unto us that may be most perfect if it be shown to one another. Such love as may be wanting everything that we may have for ourselves to also be available to every man and woman and child that may ever have life. Such principles, I believe, have been supported by people like Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Teddy Kennedy, people who endorsed that the ability to receive medical attention may be one of the basic necessities of life, and that all people should be able to share in that necessity freely and equally, without difference, based on their economic status. Proclaiming that life of us, individually and collectively, expands our creation. Of money and our economic system. For we hold the ability to collectively come together to alter or even to completely abolish any policies or statutes or systems or regulations that we have put into place that may hinder the overall prosperity of our people. And that means all people, regardless of what gender they may be, and regardless of what color their skin may be, and regardless of how much money we may have in our possession, and regardless of what ideas we may support, that above all of those things, the love for one another is greater, and our Creator is greater. And that through that truth, we should all have the opportunity to be free from oppression and the pursuit and the full implementation of that equality through our policies, through our statutes, through our regulations, through our Constitution. And ultimately, through the love one toward another that have been the backbone, the foundation of the people of this nation, for it has been one people who sacrificed their lives for the freedom of all. Just as Christ, the Son of God, hath sacrificed himself for all people. Righteousness is alive. Love is alive. Those principles of righteousness and love, I believe, are supported in all of the work that may truly come from the person and those people that may surround that person, and all people that may truly support the overall prosperity of people. And I believe that the person who holds those similar beliefs of equality for all people and prosperity for all people and freedom for all people is Barack Obama. I believe that the plans that I've seen put forth and have known to have been from Barack Obama are plans that have also been endorsed and fully implemented by others who have been in similar circumstances and faced similar oppositions from people amongst the same nation, have faced oppositions in court, in this nation's highest court, the Supreme Court of the United States, even unto his progression and promotion of what may be right for others. The person whom I refer to hath also been in the position similar to Barack Obama by being placed as the person with the task of working with others in order to help this nation in times of some of the greatest economic, financial turmoil. These two people share such an intimate commonality through their struggles and through their ideas, which I believe to be rooted in what may be love for one another, of all of the people amongst our nation. And also, the commonality lies in the strivings that they may have been met with along this path of establishing such equality and overall prosperity for all people. The first that I refer to is President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, whom assumed office as the person who may be sought to as the leader of a nation in the midst of an economic hardship of an entire nation, whereby the majority of the people may have felt and lived in a way whereby changes had to be made. Not only for the nation, but for themselves individually. Whereby their families may have not been able to afford some of the necessities that they may have previously been able to. And thus changes had to be made. And whereby the nation's unemployment rate achieved heights of an even greater percentage than was at the height of our generations seen national and global economic loss of stature, whereby the people of that time sought on Franklin Roosevelt as the President of the United States to stand forth as the humble leader that may devise strategies and communicate with others to implement and develop plans that may concretely establish a basis and a foundation of people to be able to regain not only the economic security that they may have once held, but also the social liberty and ease that they may have had within their individual homes. All of this, as in all things, could be done and can be done through Jesus Christ, our Creator, who hath been given honor in this nation from the time of Thomas Jefferson in that document of the Declaration of Independence, whereby the Creator is noted to have given us what we have. And in those times of Franklin Roosevelt, with those challenges being faced through Jesus Christ, those challenges were met through policies that are reflected today in those presented by Barack Obama. Policies which have the aim of establishing a stronger nation for all people and benefiting those who may be of the least economically fortunate. Policies that sought to rebuild a nation for all people. Such policies as requiring or asking of some of the richest citizens of the United States of America to pay more in taxes in order to have some of those funds be a part of the economic plans to benefit some of the most negatively affected individuals in such a tumultuous time of economic downturn. President Roosevelt implemented this policy with similar hopes. Barack Obama seeks to implement this policy with those same hopes as Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Another policy may be to find some means of work for the millions of people who have lost their jobs all over the United States of America. And Franklin Delano Roosevelt, in his concept of the New Deal, that of him and his administration, and many people of this wonderful country. At that time, Franklin Delano Roosevelt put forth in action the plan of having millions of people be employed through working on our nation's bridges and roadways all throughout the country, whereby these systems of infrastructure required large numbers of labor workers and labor force, which people sought for themselves and for their family and for this country to regain its status of economic prosperity and economic security, not just for the people of the time, but for the children. That may also rely upon the current achievement of our nation's goals. For if at that time the nation had not recovered, and those children may have to suffer those same consequences. But through that plan, through employing such a vast number of people with the policies that have come to be known as the New Deal, and the aspects of that New Deal which have been systems that have been put forth to promote the overall growth of this nation. Regulations, on some of the economic institutions of our nation. Policies that affect not only what jobs people may have, but how people may be treated in the realm of finances. Those policies that Barack Obama has also sought to implement, and to fully take action for the people of this nation, not at the last moment, but at the first. Through work such as the Dodd-Frank Act, and through work such as the Jobs Bill, which, similar to the New Deal of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, was a plan established with attempts to put millions of people to work on the infrastructure systems of this nation. Roadways and bridges all across the country. Millions of people back to work. The precise ideology or policy or plan or course of action of Franklin Delano Roosevelt and the people of that time in the Great Depression, that in this time, President Barack Obama and the people of this time seek for the same recovery, the same improvement. From the 30s, at the time of the Great Depression, when Franklin Delano Roosevelt was president, this nation has grown to the heights of the times to see the economic prosperity of the administrations of President Bill Clinton. To achieve those heights from the lows of the Great Depression, with those policies and the cooperation and sometimes the overcoming of adversity that Franklin Delano Roosevelt, his administration, and the people of that time had to face. It's at this time that Barack Obama and the people of this nation have to face those same challenges, those same adversities, those same oppressive acts. That at this time, we hold those same responsibilities. And we have those same plans. As one of the most morally righteous in terms of putting forth plans to assist people and to show love unto the people of our nation, whose name is Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I support President Barack Obama for re-election as the President of the United States. For he exemplifies and I believe epitomizes the same care for people, same love for people, the same idea of the promotion of righteousness for all people. Morally, ethically, socially, politically, economically, and in any other form. As the person who may have been his 1930s reflection, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, whom the people of that time realized such care, compassion, righteousness, that they elected him to be the only president to have the privilege and the honor to serve this nation for 3 terms, for 12 years. They called him back for another round. Say, let's go again, President Roosevelt. Let's go again. That's what the people saw. That's what I see in President Barack Obama. Let's go again. One more round. Let's go again. Yes, we can.